Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhidiritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Janaha. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees. On 14th December 1884, when he visited Star Theatre of North Kolkata to witness the drama on Prahlada, the king of devotees, despite being the son of a demon, Hiranyakashipu. Sri Ramakrishna was never tired of extolling the supremacy of devotion, especially in this age. He used to repeatedly say, Kalite Naradiya Bhakti. And he was presenting the grades of devotion. We have discussed at length. The preliminary acquaintance with God concentrates into nishtha, the one-pointedness, and then it evolves into devotion, bhakti. That also has 9 dimensions, Navada Bhakti, which we discussed at length, and then it evolves into bhava. Excuse me. Now, bhava also, there are 5 kinds of principal bhava. Shantodasya Sakya Vatsalya Madhur. And we were discussing the 4th variety, the Vatsalya Bhava, from the last Sunday class. Now we have to understand that Sri Ramakrishna is making it easier for us to travel on the path of bhakti. It is not easy to love God. Our natural propensity is to love the world, because the world is visible and God is presently not visible. It is very difficult to love something which is beyond our reach. So it is but natural we will have more attraction to the visible world around us. The job is to turn our mind away from the visible world into the invisible God and realize that God is much more covetable than the world. He has hidden himself as if a chocolate is hidden within a wrapper. Wrapper is very bright, attractive, but it doesn't have any sweetness. It's a paper. It has a bright, attractive appearance, but in itself it is insipid. Within it, however, holds the real chocolate which is full of juice
and sweetness. Similarly, God is hidden within His creation, visible world. We have to unopen this wrapper and get into Him. That is the process of bhakti. And in this process, bhava is a very powerful tool. Bhava is making a relationship. As we have human relationship, similarly we have to have such human relationship with God. Now God is beyond our reach. So we have to bring Him down to our level. We are not able to reach to His level. So in this particular method, God as if comes down to our level to enable us to love Him. It's a wonderful philosophy. That's why it is said that bhava is the most important method of reaching God. It is said that bhavena lavate jnanam, bhavena deva darshanam, bhavena lavate sarvam, tasmat bhavanulambanam. भाव अवलंबन करना चाहिए. Why? By bhava we receive jnanam, real wisdom. What is this jnanam? Jnanam is the knowledge that God alone is true and world is transient. World is not as it appears to be. World is not false, but it is not so as it appears. So world appears very attractive, but in reality it is not having that attractive quality. It is only in appearance, but not in reality. But God is through and through this anandam, pleasure, is full of joy, full of everything. There is a difference. So here this jnanam is obtained through this bhava. Even the vision of God is guaranteed by this bhava. You get everything. That's why it is recommended that bhava should be followed. We know after the realization, Sri Ramakrishna was in a fix that now onwards, how should he behave? How should he remain in this world? He has realized God and achieved all the facets of God realization. So Mother Kali appeared before him and said, Tui bhav mukhe tha. Remain with a bhava. So here, that's why Sri Ramakrishna said that bhakti culminates into bhava. And in bhava also, as the devotee advances, becomes more and more intimate with God, the different bhavas come before us. It starts with Shanta Bhava, that God is our very own, but we maintain a respectable distance from God. We know, we actually respect Him. We know that God is a very lovable, very respectable person. He is very benign, kind, all the good qualities. And we are blessed to have the grace of God. We want to stay with God forever, but having a respectable distance. Like Bhishma and Sri Krishna. Bhishma knew all the through who Sri Krishna was, and they maintained that respectable relation till the end. But then when it deepens, then devotee comes closer, then comes near in an approachable distance from God, and sits at His feet as a servant does to his master. Prabhu Bhritya Samparka, Dasya, very close. He serves, loves the master, but nevertheless, he also maintains a sense of respect. The servant can never be the master. नौकर कभी मालिक नहीं हो सकता है. मालिक के साथ वो दूरी बंदोबस्त करते हैं. There's a distance. He serves to his utmost, and sometimes whenever the master is pleased, then even he raises the servant to his level and embraces. As Ramchandra did to Hanuman, when he is very much pleased with his service, then Asakahi Sripati Kantha Lagavaya Laya Sajivana Lakhan Jiyai, when he recovered Lakhan from his jaws of death, he brought him back alive by applying the Vishaltakarani. Then Rama was very much pleased to his service and gave him an embrace. And also extolled him. Tuma mama priya bharata samabhai. You are as close to me as my dearest brother Bharat. So intimacy grows. And then thirdly, when it grows further, then the devotee does not sit at the feet. He comes to the same level. So, like a friend, equal to each other. So, in this Sakhya Bhav, the friendship, there are various shades which have been discussed at length. And different illustrations of Sakhya Bhav in different incarnations of God have also been discussed, as Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Buddha, Sri Chaitanya, Sri Ramakrishna, etc. This is also very wonderful that God and the devotee, they are on the equal level, that extreme confidentiality and joy between the two. Now, when the relation goes further deep, see the development of bhakti further deep, then it culminates into Vatsalya Bhava. In Vatsalya Bhava, the devotee goes further, is full of nectar, bhakti, amrit. So here, the masters of the Vaishnava devotional schools have described it in finer details of the Vatsalya Bhava. So that is worth studying, because when we know these bhavas, then we can have a wider selection which bhava will be suitable for us. Like before taking our food, we must have the menu. What are the food available? What are the items available for us? Depending on our taste and temperament, we can select. Similarly, if we have to adopt a bhava with God, we must know the different varieties. We have seen the Santya Dasya Sakhya. Now the Vatsalya Bhava, we must have a good conception what is Vatsalya Bhava. Last week, we just discussed the highlights of Vatsalya Bhava. Now, let us recapitulate. We know that in any kind of bhava, is any kind of prema, we are talking about bhakti is nishkama bhakti, pure love. Bhakti is of two varieties. One is Goni Bhakti, another is Raga Bhakti. Gauni Bhakti means that we love God for achieving something else. So Bhakti is a way to receive something else. So that is not real Bhakti. That is not Prema. Prema means pure love, love for love's sake. We love God for loving only. Love is an end in itself. It's not a means to achieve something else. That is called Raga Bhakti. So in order that the Sakama Bhakti becomes Nishkama Bhakti, love with motive into love without motive, then pure love. This is called, in technical terms, Raga Bhakti. In this Raga Bhakti variety, it is characterized by three important disciplines. It's called the equilateral triangle of love. Samakoni Tribhuj, equilateral triangle. Three sides are exactly same. Three angles are same. Now, what are they? First characteristic is, in this love, there won't be any fear. When we love God, being afraid of something, then that is not pure love. Bhaya, lajja, bhaya, etc. We have already seen before that they are all pasha. They are all these obstacles in the path of pure love. When we love God for the object of love, there is no fear, absolutely no fear. Very frank. Love gives abhay, fearlessness. We discussed this, that when a mother is proceeding with a child, and if anything comes in between, the mother will jump before to protect the child. His fear vanishes for the sake of the love. Secondly, there is no shopkeeping. There is no expectation, as has been said. We love God for love's sake. Whenever there is any expectation that we love, but we want something in return, then it becomes kama, not prema. It becomes a passion. It becomes polluted. It's not pure. Whenever there is no kama, then it's pure. Purity means that lack of this desire. Love is not to fulfill any desire. So this is second point. And third is that a sense of possessiveness, that God is mine. So we know God is all pervading. So that devotee denies, does not accept the all pervasiveness of God. The devotee thinks that he or she is superior to God. This superiority complex is a dimension of pure love. That he is mine and mine only, and he is dependent on me. That we have seen in different dimensions. Now these are the three characteristics of pure love. Whatever form of love you do, either sakhya or dasya or whatever. These are the three criteria. Now the advantage in the Vatsalya Bhava is this, that these three ideas become natural in the Vatsalya Bhava, because here God is considered a small child and the devotee takes the role of a parent, father or mother. Now for a child, what can we expect? Naturally, think of it. A child has nothing to give. So no one loves a child for getting something in return. They serve the child for joy only, for anandam. Do not want anything. But here, the peculiarity is that when we take God as a child and worship Him in Vatsalya Bhava, we do not expect not only mundane things, even divine things. Sometimes we worship God for not only physical pleasures or worldly enjoyments, worldly achievements. We want something divine. We want our bhakti, prema, even mukti, liberation. But here the devotee does not want even mukti in nothing, neither divine nor mundane. This is the beauty of Vatsalya Bhava because the God is a child. It is incapable of fulfilling my desires. Not that I am not wanting anything. I know that a child, what can it give? Is an innocent identity. So this Nishkama Bhava becomes natural. This idea does not come. And the idea of fearlessness comes because we know that the child is incapable of protecting him. So I have to protect him. So one has to be fearless in order to protect the child from fear. And then thirdly, one has to be feeling possessiveness because you know the child is unable to take care of itself. So I have to take care. Who else will do when I am in the vicinity of the child? So that Nishkama Bhakti becomes natural from the beginning in the Vatsalya Bhava. This is the first point. And this evolves due to the emotional intensity of bhakti. Bhakti becomes very intense. And it's very interesting that even God sometimes wants to enjoy this Vatsalya Bhava from the devotees. So, here in this Bhava, the awareness of God's power recedes so much that God is experienced as a totally dependent child or infant. God is no more Sarat Virat, Lord of the universe. It has shunned, it has given up all its power and taken a small form of a child, Bala Gopal, innocent child. And God appreciates, enjoys this relation with the devotees. That's why he condenses his power. And there are various shades of excellence in this Vatsalya Bhava, which has been discussed in the Bhakti school of thought. Wonderful presentation, Bhakti Rasa. So here the devotee gets rid of all fears as he is the parent and destroys all kinds of selfish motives as he cannot expect anything from his small child. Now when we are worshipping God, we are worshipping God as our father or protector. Now here we take care of the parental attitude and we are protecting God. As we said, Gatit Bhakta Prabhu Shakshi, he is the creator, he is the protector, he is our father, mother, husband, etc. But here it is not that. He is depending on us. Say, vice versa, it's a reverse process. Now, So here, what is the source of joy? Because when there is nothing, source of joy is only the presence of God. When you are present with the child presence itself is a source of joy. Upasthiti matram. So God is there and that's all. Now Vatsalya Bhav is much more difficult because it requires us to give up our egotistic desire for a God that will meet all our needs. We don't have any God which will meet our needs. We are self-sufficient, self-independent. We do not depend on God. Rather, the devotee feels God is dependent on him. And the devotee becomes greater than God. God is greater for us, but for a devotee in Vatsalya Bhav, devotee is greater. And the devotee becomes so much more powerful than God that he or she can control God. He takes the position of a controller of God. God has to be controlled, cajoled, protected. The devotee takes this peculiar attitude. This is Vatsalya Bhav. And it generates due to deep intimacy with God. Now here it is told in the Bhakti school that Krishna elevates his devotees beyond his own position. भगवान भक्तों को आगे बढ़ा देते हैं, इनके बढ़ोतरी है. Just as Arjuna became the hero of Kurukshetra, while Krishna was simply his chariot driver without any weapon. Though in reality he discloses to Krishna, he discloses to Arjuna, Krishna. In reality he says, Nimitta matram bhavasabhya sachin. Maiva nihita apurvam. Already I have killed these people. He showed even the future happenings, he showed as a prelude to this drama. But then he said, Nimitta matram bhav, you take the credit. Though I have done everything, but I allow you to give you the credit because I love you. This is the nature of God. He makes the devotee greater than him, as is done plenty of example in Vatsalya Bhava. Now, Mother Jashoda was the epitome of Vatsalya Rasa or parental love of God. But the Vatsalya Bhava has different shades. The purest form of Vatsalya Bhava has been demonstrated by Jashodama. That has been discussed. To a certain extent we shall also discuss. Now this happens only due to previous penances for a long time. It doesn't fall from the earth. The devotee has to do the penances, have to do sadhana in order to make their mind as pure as to hold this Vatsalya Rasa in their mind towards God. And the fortune of such devotees cannot be fathomed. Atyanta saubhagyashali hai. But as I said, it is only in Mother Jashoda that this bhava is expressed as the true Vatsalya Rasa. All are mixed. They are mixed, other Vatsalya Rasa. I will give you an example. But in Mother Jashoda, it is purest form of Vatsalya Rasa and Vatsalya Rasa only. Because otherwise, it is the only rasa which is manifested as mixture of two rasas. This is Balaram's Sakhya Rasa is mixed with Dasya and Vatsalya Rasa. It is very difficult to have a pure rasa, pure bhav, there always comes in mixture, like Balaram. They are also exalted beings. But he is principally Sakhya Bhava, but there is a mixture of this Dasya Bhava and this Vatsalya Rasa. He is Sakhya Bhava. Now, similarly, Yudhishthira's, the Vatsalya Rasa was mixed with Dasya and Sakhya. Ugrasen and others had Dasya mixed with some Vatsalya. They are mixtures. Aged gopis, they had Vatsalya mixed with Sakhya. That combination. That's mentioned before that Vatsalya Rasa has the qualities of Santa Rasa also. Now, the sarvic mood of Dasya Rasa he is known as that Palana. Is another term is coming. The Vatsalya Rasa has one dimension of serving God. And that is, what is this serving? This Palana, maintenance. Maintenance of God is another dimension of this Vatsalya Rasa. Due to the intense affection of Vatsalya Rasa and its lack of awe and reverence, the devotees in Vatsalya Rasa sometimes chastise and rebuke God. Intense love. So they place themselves in a higher pedestal than God. In the Dasya Bhava, devotee was sitting at the lower pedestal and master was seated on a throne, higher pedestal. Here the other way around. The devotee sits above and God he placed below. And there is no sense of awe or reverence, only sense of intimacy. Now devotees in Vatsalya Rasa consider themselves as God's maintainer, and God is an object of maintenance. As Jasoda used to say, if I do not take care of Krishna, who else will? He will go unfed. He will be in distress. Now this is, of course you know, this is not the fact. But then, neither the devotee wants to get rid of this ignorance. Devotee knows it's an ignorant thing, but he enjoys this ignorance, so is God. God also wants the devotee has such attitude towards God. He enjoys this pure love of the devotee. So, though he does not require anything for maintenance, but the attitude of the devotee to maintain and protect God is liked by him. Therefore, Vatsalya Rasa is the nectar because it has the qualities of four rasas, Santya, Dasya, Sakha and Vatsalya. The four together form the nectar, Amrit, of Vatsalya Rasa. Now, this Vatsalya Rasa has been described in the detail in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. There is a Vaishnava Grantha, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, in this Rupa Goswami, in the 3rd chapter, 4th section and 1st verse. It defines Sangya de rahe, Vatsalya Rasa as thus. Vivavadhyais tu Vatsalyam Sthayi Pushtim Upagataha Isa Vatsala Namatra Prokto Bhakti Raso Budhai. when eternally existing God, God's love is eternal, when eternally existing love of God transforms into parental love and is mixed with corresponding emotions, that stage of spiritual existence is described by learning devotees as Vatsalya Bhakti Rasa. This love for God gets transformed into a parental love, and that has been defined as Vatsalya Bhakti Rasa. So, God, as has been said, He condenses Himself, He sheds His power, He gets rid of His power and comes in a small compassionate figure. It has been said that Krishna, endowed with the following mentioned qualities, but without manifesting powers, is famous as the Vibhava of the Vatsalya Rasa, by accepting himself as the object of compassion. Kurunar Patra, he shows himself his helplessness, so that the devotee may extend its compassion to serve and protect God, as if he is innocent and weak, meek. Now he has attractive, dark, soft body, endowed with all wonderful characteristics, speaking lovely words. He is honest, shy, obedient, respectful, and generous. These are the divine qualities he exhibits and attracts the concern of the devotees and get blessed with this Vatsalya Rasa. Now the elders, Ashraya, the elders become Vibhava of Vatsalya Rasa by thinking themselves greater than Krishna, protecting him and teaching him. They have a peculiar ego that I have to take care of this child, forgetting that it is God. When this knowledge is given to them, they deny, they refuse. As has been said earlier, that when Sri Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura for his mission to kill Kamsa, then this Mother Jashoda was extremely perturbed. She became like a mad person, becoming restless for Krishna. What will happen to my child? Who will take care of him? He is unable to protect himself. Then Srimati Radhika came to her rescue. Seeing her pitiable condition, Mother Jashoda, she came to her and said that, look, I am Adya Shakti. I am the power of the universe in this form. So do not worry that your Sri Krishna is the God of the universe, and please take any boon from me. Don't worry. Now Mother Jashoda says, I do not care to know whether Sri Krishna is the God of the universe or having all powerful. I only know that she is weak, she is unable to take care of him, and if I do not take care, she will be in distress. I, ahamta. This is the characteristics of Vatsalya Bhava. The Jnani, he is trying to diffuse his ego. Wonderful relation. Jnani wants to naham. He wants to efface his ego, ahankar, in order to merge in the universal ego. This is Jnani. This unripe ego, Dehatma Buddhi, that I am the body, I have the body, I am this world, I want this he wants to efface. But the devotee, he wants to enforce the ego. I have to take care of God. The result is the same. The Jnani has a very difficult, painful process. The devotee has an enjoyable journey by infatuating his or her ego is getting merged in the divine consciousness. Now here, as has been said, the elders become vibhava of Vatsala Rasa by thinking themselves greater. Now the elders of Krishna are those who are protecting in the order of their excellence, has been mentioned in this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. They are Jashoda, Nanda, Rohini, the gopis whose sons were stolen by Lord Brahma, Devaki and other wives of Vasudeva, Kunti, Vasudeva and Sandipani Muni. Among the elders, the first in the list are superior to the later ones. In the order of merit, they have been mentioned here, the illustrations of Vatsala Rasa with fine shades of difference. Now, out of these, the form of Jashoda from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Jashoda has been described, Ma Jashoda, like this. What is the epitome of Vatsala Rasa? How does she perform and look? Has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam in detail. 10.9.3, Dasham Skandra, Navam Adhyaya, Tritiya Shlok. Dressed in a saffron yellow shari with a belt tied about her full hips, Mother Jashoda pulled on the churning rope, levering considerably, her bangles and earrings moving with vibrating and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk, her face with its very beautiful eyebrows was wet with perspiration, and malati flowers were falling from her hair. Very active and busy woman, forgetful of her body and her ornaments, but deeply concerned with Sri Krishna, and eyes are wet with the tears in the love for Sri Krishna. Another description of her form has been given, so we can form an idea that how a person soaked in Vatsala Rasa appear. That has been given in the form of Mother Jashoda. The queen of the cowherds, Jashoda, has wavy hair bound by cords. The dot of Sindura at the part of her hair. She does not wear many ornaments. Her eyes become filled with tears on seeing Krishna. Her complexion is dark, like a blue lotus, radiating a dark glow, and she wears colorful clothing. May she protect us. It's a bandhana of Jashoda. Now, Jashoda's motherly affection has been portrayed like this. Early in the morning, with milk dripping from her breast, with choked voice and tears in her eyes, Jashoda uttered mantras on Krishna's limbs, placed tilaka on his forehead for his protection, and tied protective herbs on his arm. She was the personification of maternal love. She is busy in trying to protect Krishna so that no ill spirit may overpower Krishna. She refuses to believe that Krishna is having any power. It's wonderful. He said that from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10.8.45, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the three Vedas. The God's Supreme Personality has been described in the three Vedas, Rig, Sam, Jajuhu, and the Upanishads, the literature of Sankhya, Yoga and other Vaishnava literature. God's greatness, excellence has been extolled in all the scriptures available in the world. Yet, Mother Yashoda considered the Supreme Person is her ordinary child. She was happy to consider whatever is discussed in the Shastras is no concern for her. She only is concerned that her child, this Krishna, is totally dependent on her. He is helpless. Now, there is a wonderful thing that is mentioned, that there are a lot of these miraculous incidents done by Krishna in his Lila, Balla Lila, Vrindavan Lila. He has killed so many demons and Govardhan Dharan, etc. Now, what is the attitude of Mother Yashoda? This is important. What she thought about these Leelas. We already praise Sri Krishna, the Go Balakas, they congratulated, they appreciated that their friend has done miracle. But here Mother Yashoda, how she felt? She felt that it is due to their power, these Sri Krishna became safe, remained safe. Because my husband and I have worshipped Vishnu constantly, Putana and other demons have been destroyed. They don't consider that Sri Krishna destroyed Putana. They think because of their prayer to Vishnu, Sri Krishna was unaffected by Putana, or else he should have died. They protected Sri Krishna. The two Arjuna trees were uprooted by the wind and Vishnu protected him. That the asuras in form of the trees, Vriksha-asura, that Sri Krishna had no credit. He would have died. But because of our prayer, Sri Krishna was saved. I saw with my own eyes, he saw, this is very important. I saw with my own eyes that Govardhana was held up by my husband with Balarama's help. Because of worshipping Vishnu, how would it be possible for my baby to perform all these difficult tasks? She saw that Govardhan, this Govardhan mountain, Govardhan Parvat was raised when others are seeing that the Krishna raised this Govardhan Parvat with only the little finger of his left hand, but Mother Yashoda says, no, it is Balaram and my husband, they helped it to raise it, or else it is beyond the imagination that my little Gopala would be able to do it. This is the essence of Vatsalya Rasa. It is pure, it doesn't have any mixture of anything else, and that gives an immense joy. There are other varieties, as has been said in this order, that Nanda Baba and Uddipana, etc., which will take up the further shades of Vatsalya Bhava in our next class. It's a wonderful study, and it takes us gradually closer and closer to the nectar of God's devotion. Niranjanam nityam anantam rupam bhaktanukampadhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirusa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We close now with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Namaskar.